Hello and welcome again to the KTR. So, AMD today unveiled some very interesting news for the public. This is dealing with their Ryzen CPUs. It is now actually called Ryzen 7. So let's go ahead and jump into the details, just straight up front pricing and clock speeds of the CPUs for those that are interested, and then later in the video there will be more in-depth technical details. So, the three new processors that AMD announced are the 7-1700, the 7-1700X, and the 7-1800X. To start things off, the 1700 is 8-core, 16-thread, 3 GHz with 3.7 GHz in turbo boost, and will start at a retail price of $329. The 1700X is 8-core, 16-thread, 3.4 GHz to 3.8 GHz, and will retail at $399. The final CPU is the 1800X, which again is 8 cores, 16 threads, has a base clock speed of 3.6 GHz and a boost clock speed of 4.0 GHz, and will retail at $499. Now, all three of these CPUs are set to be on shelves worldwide on March 2nd, so if you're interested in them so far, then be prepared for that date. With the release date of these CPUs being March 2nd, it would make sense that pre-orders are available soon, and in fact they are available as of today, February 22nd, from all of the retailers that you see listed below. Along with these announcements, AMD has also said that they will have a broad desktop ecosystem available at launch of these CPUs. They claim that there will be over 82 motherboard options at launch from major brands such as Asus, Gigabyte, MSI, BioStar, and ASRock. So stay tuned for those. Here you can see a few examples of the motherboard designs that ASRock, BioStar, Gigabyte, and MSI have designed for the new Ryzen 7 CPUs. Now, from this picture, you can also see that there will be CPU coolers at launch from Corsair and Noctua. So far, this is looking to be a pretty grand launch lineup of motherboards and CPU coolers. Now, let us take a look at the more technical side of these CPUs, as well as how they perform against their rivals from Intel. Jumping right in to take a look at the 1700, we see that it is, of course, an 8-core, 16-thread CPU with 3.0, 3.7 GHz, 65 watts TDP, a 20 megabyte L2 plus L3 cache, and SenseMI technology. Now, compared up against the Core i7 7700K and Cinebench R15 NT, we see a 46% improvement on the Ryzen chip compared to the Intel chip. Using the same scores from the last picture, we see that the Ryzen chip does retail at $329 for the 1700 series, and the 7700K from Intel retails at $350. So just going from this alone, the new Ryzen CPU is better in the price per performance category. Moving along to the 1700X, we see that it is a 3.4 GHz base with up to a 3.8 GHz. It is a 95 watt TDP CPU and is made for the enthusiast, the gamer, the content creator, and everything in between. Now, this is really where you begin to see the difference. If you compare the new Ryzen 7 1700X to the Intel i7 6800K and even Intel i7 6900K, you're able to see that the Ryzen 7 1700X outperforms both of those much higher priced CPUs from Intel. Now, taking a look at the 1800X Ryzen CPU, it again is an 8-core, 16-thread CPU with 3.6 GHz base and a 4.0 GHz boost. They're going for the heart of an enthusiast platform here, as well as it'll have their AMD SenseMI technology. Now, compared to the i7 6900K, it's about a 9% improvement from their testing. Again, none of this has been in public hands yet to thoroughly test, and that is apparently happening soon, so we'll see those results shortly. Compared to a different benchmark in the Cinebench R15 1T test, they're identical in results. So again, even though you're paying more for the i7 6900K, the Ryzen 7 1800X is able to perform and cost cheaper while doing so. In conclusion, the new Ryzen 7 1700, 1700X, and 1800X CPUs, priced respectively at $329, $399, and $499, seem to be putting Intel in a very tricky situation. Their price per performance ratio is amazing compared to Intel's, and we'll just have to see if Intel comes out with something new this year in 2017, if they can even fight this, because the last 4 years it's just been pretty stagnant. That's not to say that I dislike Intel or anything anyway. In fact, I've been rolling an i7 4700K in my computer since it initially launched, and I just haven't had a need to upgrade it because I can overclock it and get virtually the same results. So with that being said, I would very much like to do a hands-on with an AMD Ryzen CPU just to see how it outperforms. So AMD, do you think we can maybe work something out here? Anyway, thank you all for watching. This has been Keith for the KTR, and I'll see you all later.